The uncomfortable atmosphere continued even after those two left. It was thick with the idea that simply talking about the culprit's identity would be the same as deciding whom to suspect. It had begun to feel like a discussion of the case was itself taboo. So no one mentioned the case, at least out loud. However, those thoughts were what filled our minds. After that, we couldn't say aloud made our heads feel like they were going to explode. So, at least on the outside, the parlor had once again regained its calm mood. Everything was left unsettled.
少しだけ雨足が弱まった気がするね。
Hopefully.
まだいっぱい降ってるよ。
仮にやんだってこの島には船がねえんだしな。船が明日すぐに来てくれりゃいいんだがよ。
Hopefully.
洋館バカンさんもうお腹いっぱいだぜ。
I mean, I like the mansion. I don't like the whole murder aspect.
母さん、明日船はいつ来るのかな。
Yeah, and she wants this shit over with.
本来なら帰りの船は今日の3時に来てくれることになっていました。先方も台風が過ぎてから来直すと電話をしてくれたでしょうが、あいにく電話は普通ですから。でも向こうも子供の使いではありません。客人の方々の送迎目的だと教えてありますから、おそらく明日の朝一番で、多分9時頃くらいに来てくれるでしょう。
I'd be down there at 8:59 and tapping my foot saying, hurry the fuck up, I want off this goddamn island. It was completely black outside. When I looked at the clock, I realized that it was just past 7. I was starting to get hungry. In the kitchen, Kumasawa was cooking enthusiastically. She had laid out a variety of dishes, and while they didn't match the level of Goda's artful cooking, they were still quite gorgeous. It was an act of kindness from Kumasawa, who was trying to enliven everyone's low spirits with some food. Kumasawa wasn't nearly as talented as a professional cook like Goda, but she was far from unskilled. On the contrary, since she had been brought up in a fishing village, the simple food she was created was sometimes highly praised. Kanon arranged the food Kumasawa had finished creating on plates under her direction. Kanon also helped in the kitchen sometimes, but since he was rarely placed in that role, he was slightly awkward even though he tried his best. Self-conscious about the fact that he couldn't cleverly arrange the food, Kanon's expression darkened slightly. But Kumasawa smiled as though everything was fine.
きれいに盛り付けられてますよ。カノン君もお上手ですよ。
シャノン姉さんだったらもっときれいに。
That's a beautiful thought. God, that's depressing. Kanon stopped arranging the food for a bit and hung his head. Shannon was the one who always assisted Kumasawa in her cooking. Tonight Kanon was doing it instead. And as he remembered Shannon's face and her brutal end, he grimaced. Genji spoke kindly to Kanon as he advanced upon. Nanjo had escaped from the parlor once the mood had grown sour, and Genji had become his opponent in a game of chess upon Nanjo's request.
はい。今は忘れます。
それがいいだろう。
Genji purposely refrained from facing Kanon as he spoke. He did so because he understood that it might make things tougher on Kanon if he noticed that someone was looking at his eyes. Nanjo also understood that and held back any thoughtless words.
金蔵さんもどこへ行かれたんでしょうな。ご無事だといいのですが。わかりません。ただ、すべては親方様が望まれ、仕組まれたことのように思っています。それを邪推することは、親方様にお仕えする家具には過ぎたことです。源氏さんは怖くないのですか？私には今夜まだ何か良くないことが起こるような気がして怖いのです。怖いことなど何も。私はただ後 城宮家にお仕えするだけです。
Nandra sighed through his nose and made a carefully considered move. Nandra was very slightly dubious. Could Genji possibly be thinking that he'd be left out of this? He couldn't even imagine what was happening inside this mansion. But he definitely couldn't deny the possibility that Kinzo had devised something. If you liken this island to a chess, Kinzo had opened the game, and as a result 6 pieces had been defeated. Could it be that Genji was calm because he perceived he alone was on the outside of the chessboard and was therefore safe? Nanja thought about it. Isn't everyone just a piece on this chessboard, lined up equally, without any exceptions? Wasn't even Genji who had gained more of Kinzo's trust than anyone? No, who was confident of his position as Kinzo's only close friend. Just another piece, one of the pieces laid out on the chessboard.
Genji-san, 私は今夜が本当に怖いのです。無事に明日の朝を迎えられることを心より願っています。
The guest room Eva and Hideyoshi moved into had originally been built to house guests before the guest house construction. So until a few years ago, they had stayed in these rooms with every family conference and were very familiar with them. This room was just like a room at a hotel with a bedroom and a bathroom. So even though they were still shut in, it was far more comfortable than the parlor.
やっぱり家族だけだとリラックスできるな。
Oh good. One of them's a killer and gonna kill the other.
他のみんなも客室にこもって鍵をかけてりゃええんや。
夏日姉さんが客間を出るなって威張り散らしてるんだもん。誰も口答えなんてできないでしょ。あの人ずーっと冷や飯を食ってきたから兄さんが死んでやっと天下が来たって張り切ってんのよ。まったくずうずうしいったらあるしな。
Yeah, because you aren't declaring yourself immediately, without like knowing if Kinzo's alive or dead. I am the new head of the family. Get the fuck out of here.
まあそう言うな。夏希さんもあれで結構頑張っとるんやで。
She's trying to keep everyone fucking calm.
お前もそう突っかからんでもええやないか。さっきのレシートの件もあそこまでは言い過ぎやで。
Just a bit.
だってあそこで言わなかったらもう言うタイミングがないんだもん。
Yeah, they're called the police. Ava, sulking cutely and looking at the television, sat alongside Hideyoshi, who was lying on the bed.
でも、こうして二人きりになるのはずいぶん久しぶりよね。
Stop it. I don't get. No. Stop. I don't need this. I don't need this to have. Stop. Already. You can just stop right there. That's all you need to say and just move on.
そうやな。思えばわしもお前も老けたもんや。ジョージが生まれてから何もかもがあっという間や。
本当にあっという間よ。子供を作るの焦りすぎたかしら。
Ava's eyes looked like they were staring off into the distance. God, we shouldn't have had this child. Wow. Yes, she had thought of it as a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Her older brother Kraus had been unable to father a child for quite some time. 6 years passed after his marriage to Natsui without any signs of pregnancy, which didn't please Kinzo at all. Ava herself had thought that, since her name would be moved outside the Shiromiya register, then she got married anyway. It didn't matter whether a successor to the headship was born or not. And then one day, she had a heavenly revelation. Or maybe it was the whisperings of the devil that she had listened into her greed. If she could give birth to a successor first, wouldn't she be able to remain in the Ushiromiya register? If things went well, might she have a chance to inherit the Ushiromiya family herself? When she proposed this to Hideyoshi, he had approved of it instantly. This wasn't because Hideyoshi also had greedy thoughts. Yeah, sure. For Hideyoshi, who had no close relatives, it was a chance for him to feel once more the long-forgotten thing called family. So when they got married, he hadn't fussed over which last name they were to keep, and had quickly agreed to have his name entered into the Ushiromiya family register. It hadn't been easy to persuade Kinzo, but as his daughter, Eva knew Kinzo's personality well. So by choosing the time when Kinzo was most dissatisfied with Natsui, she was magnificently able to make him accept Hideyoshi as an adopted son-in-law. Looking at Hideyoshi, who had achieved success after starting from nothing, Kinzo might have seen a little bit of himself. He quickly grew to like Hideyoshi and approved of his transfer into the Ushiromiya register. George would eventually become the successor to the Ushiromiya family. They had raised him strictly with that purpose in mind. He had been worth their while and had grown into a fabulous young man who wouldn't disappoint no matter where he went. That was why he had not been permitted to fall in love with a servant like Shannon. So when she learned that Shannon was dead and the engagement was now invalid, though part of her had still been shocked by the gruesome crime, part of her had also been relieved that her dear George wouldn't be stolen by some servant girl. God, that's some fucking terrible shit right there. Good God. I mean, sure, if I was in her position, I'd guess I'd be like, I would be a little disappointed if he just chose a servant and all that, but I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna stop him. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I'm not ruled by class. I don't see that as a defining feature. Like, because I would hope that someone wouldn't treat me that way if I was some dude's servant. It's like, oh no, she can't marry him. No, he's a fucking peasant. Ugh. I mean, I would reverse the roles in that sense and be like, I wouldn't want them to do that to me, so I would let it happen. Oh, I haven't been able to tell. I mean, he was the firstborn.
それに一矢報いてやりたかったでもそれは子供の頃の感情なのよ
Yes, actually it was.
でもその感情は結局自分の人生のほとんどを支配した
I mean, all it was greed and pity revenge. And it fucks and it screws with your life. I mean, it's going to drastically change how you are as a person.
それだけならまだいいその感情はあなたやジョージまで巻き込んで振り回してしまった
He'll say you didn't use me, blah blah blah.
エヴァ、備え自分を責めるな。
Oh, he didn't even give the you didn't use me. Oh, wow. Oops. Hideyoshi got up and held Ava's shoulder. She could feel a warm understanding from him.
わしはな、自分の人生はもうとっくに折り返しに入っとる。でもな、今日までの生活を後悔したことは一度もないで。一度もや。
No regrets. No regrets.
エヴァと一緒で他の男どもじゃ味わえん楽しい人生になったと思っとる。
I would never want to live that kind of life with her.
戦争で身寄りを失ったわしにもう一度家族のぬくもりを教えてくれた。だから後宮の家には感謝しとるし、わしの唯一の家だと思っとる。わしとお前が歩んできた人生にな、無駄なことなんか何もなかった。今日までほんまに楽しい人生やったで。
ありがとう、あなた。
Ava hung her head, burying her face in Hideyoshi's chest. Probably no one in the parlor could even imagine that side of Eva existed. Yeah, beats the fuck out of me. I was wondering how they even fucking had George in the first place if she was always like that. Good God.
感謝するのはわしや。
Okay, don't go that far, dude. Calm down.
今日までお前と一緒にいて後悔した日なんてあらへん。
Oh my good God. Stop
私も
it.
よあなたと一緒になれてよかった。
ジョージももう立派な大人や。わしが見張ってなくてもしっかり仕事ができる一人前や。で、正月あたりをのんびりモルジブあたりで過ごさんか。わしら二人水いらずや。
Have fun. Fuck that, no.
嫌よ。毎年年賀状の返礼で寝る暇もないとか言ってるじゃない。
次の正月だけはなしや。年賀状はみん。
That's what you said last year.
黙って下のお年玉くじだけチェックするんや。
That's an actual thing.
やだ。モルジブでお年玉くじのチェックなんてしたくない。
じゃあそいつもなしや。水いらずのんびりでジョージが生まれる直前の新婚時代の続きをちょいとしてみるか。
それならいいわね。
モルジブはええとこらしいで。なんもない島に美しいサンゴ礁と水上コテージが並んでてな。
新婚時代の続きっていつからなの？
仕事納めしたらすぐや。レコーデンに聞いてみんとわからんが、多分大晦日前には。
いや、今すぐがいい。
Oh, good God, no. Stop. Eva nagged at his lips in a peevish yet flirtatious manner. Stop. The only sounds that filled the room were the distant voice of the announcer on the news, which Hideyoshi had left on, and the obnoxious pounding of the rain on the window. Oh, the news. Oh, the best atmosphere setting. The news. Good God. Disgusting. Please leave. Excuse me, your dinner's ready. Excuse me. There was a knock on the door and Genji entered.
奥様、お夕食の準備が整いました。お食事はまたこちらでよろしいですか？
Sure, why not?
ええ、ここへ運ばせなさい。南條先生はまだ厨房にいるのですか？
はい。次の一手を熟考したいとおっしゃっております。ご安心を。他の使用人たちとご一緒です。
源氏さんはじい様の相手ができるくらいチェスが強いもんな。南條先生よりも強いらしいぜ。
そうなんだ。昔相手をしてもらったことがあるけど、あれは勝たせてくれたのかな。
マリア、もうすぐ飯だそうだぜ。しかしよく一日中テレビを見ていて飽きねえな。
Usually children don't get bored.
いつもテレビいっぱい見てるから平気。
マリアちゃんはテレビっ子なんだね。
食事だから机の上を片付けないとダメだぜ。
Earlier, we had torn several pages out of Maria's notebook, and there was now a mess where everyone had been drawing together. Jessica began cleaning that up quickly. Still, everyone here really can draw. I sure as fuck can't. I'd never guessed.
源氏、エヴァさんたちにもせめて食事くらい一緒にしないかとお声
They're
を
a
かけ
little
なさい。
busy right now. Sorry. I feel really uncomfortable even knocking on the door. It's just, no thank you.
どうせ断るでしょうが。
かしこまりました。
Poor Genji.
お父様の次はエヴァさんですか。つくづく後ろ宮家の食卓には全員が揃いませんね。
Guess it's just part of the family tradition. Natsui felt her headache start throbbing again and lightly held her temples. The distance from the kitchen to the parlor wasn't that great, so Genji had gone and come back by himself. But the guest house was a little farther away. Guest room. Natsui had warned him to avoid being alone whenever possible. And just now Nanjo had just admonished him, saying it would be better if he held a little more concern for his safety. Kanon accompanied Genji, and the two of them went to visit Eva and Hideyoshi in their guest room. Genji knocked on the door. Oh, this is just weird.
エヴァ様、秀吉様、
Sorry, we're a little busy right now.
お夕食の準備が整いました。
He waited a short while for them to come out, but there was no response.
源氏様、これは。
Let me guess, they're fucking dead. Cannon pointed under the door. A Western envelope had been inserted under it. Fuck that shit. Nope. Bye. Normally, when something was inserted this way, it'd be interpreted as a message from someone outside to someone in the room. So since this might have been a private note meant for Eva and Hideyoshi, it was not something that Kanna and Genji were supposed to take interest in. Fuck that shit open. But this Western envelope was one of Kenzo's, the same kind as the one Maria had taken out last night and surprised everyone with.
間違いない。親方様の封筒。
He's alive! Even though this was one of Kenzo's envelopes, the letter Maria read aloud the previous night hadn't come from Kenzo. Genji continued knocking a little harder and called out in a loud
エヴ
voice.
ァ様、エヴァ様、源氏でございます。いらっしゃいますか。
I told you we're fucking busy!
お返事をお願いいたします。エヴァ様。
But there was no response from the inside. Sometimes when the servants went to call some guests for a meal and the guests would be sleeping so deeply that they wouldn't wake up. In times like that, the servants would stick a letter in the door to show that it was time to come out and leave the guest be. But despite that, Genji beat even harder on the door and called out Eva's name. Kick it down! However, there was no answer. Cannon stuck his ear to the door and held his breath and listened for any sounds coming from inside. Oh god. Yeah.
テレビの音らしきものが。でも気配が感じられません。
You don't sense anyone. What the fuck do you mean by that?
お部屋は空っぽかも。
Kick it down! Genji took out a handkerchief and careful not to touch it with his bare hands, gently pulled out the envelope that had been stuck under the door. It was sealed with a deep wet red sealing wax. Without a doubt, the mark on that sealing wax had come from the Ushiromiya family's head ring.
エヴァ様、エヴァ様、どうかお返事を。もうお部屋にはいらっしゃいませんか。
But there was still no answer. There was a chance that those two were aimlessly walking around the mansion. This was the home Eva had grown up in. There was plenty of reason to think that she had gone out on a casual stroll. Genji groped around in his pocket and pulled out a bundle of keys, which contained the key that would open the guest room. I mean, the second day, or second twilight or whatever, it's supposed to be the lovers are torn apart, so, considering they're the only married couple left, and engaged couple left, it's safe to say they're gonna die next, I would assume.
源氏様。
Shut up, Cannon. Cannon also understood what this meant. They would sometimes unlock the door so they could go in and do things like make the beds, but only after they made sure the guests were out. To unlock the door for any other reason, and especially to do so when there was a chance the guest hadn't given permission, and might still be in there, was an action unbecoming of a servant. But Genji had decided. If the only problem had been that his knock hadn't received a reply, he wouldn't have gone this far. But the envelope under the door was doubtlessly one of Kenzo's, or rather one of the Western envelopes of the Ushiromiya family head. After last night, the sender of this envelope could be someone other than Kenzo. If this letter had been sent by someone else,
エヴァ様、申し訳ございません。お部屋を失礼させていただきます。
after giving that final notice, Genji stuck one of the keys from the bundle into the keyhole. There was the sound of the door unlocking. and after slowly turning the knob, he slowly started opening the door. Light seeping through the crack of the door. Were they in the room? Or had they forgotten to turn out the lights? It was the sound of the door chain being pulled tight. The chain had been secured. The chain couldn't be secured from the outside, so it also proved that they were in the room. The sound of the voices of the TV seeped out of the room. The lights, the chain, and the TV. All of those things made it clear they were in the room. But there was no sign of them. Genji called it to Eva once again through the crack of the door, but there was no answer.
源氏様いかがしますか
Kick it down. As part of their jobs, the servants were able to unlock almost any lock in the mansion, but they had no way to open a door with the chain. You have no, like, cutters. Come on. The only way to get by a chain was to cut it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, you have nothing to cut the chain. What the fuck is wrong with you? That was certainly not permitted as part of a servant's usual work. Yeah, usually it's not. A creepy chill had already rushed up their backs. Cannon held his breath again and tried to sense someone through the door. But even so, he was not able to sense anyone.
私は奥様をお呼びしてくる。
Stay put.
カノンのチェーンの切断を。
Ooh.
はい
Cut it. As Cannon hurried away to get a cutting tool, Genji called him to stop.
待てカノン。厨房に戻り、熊沢と行動するように。断じて一人で行動してはならんぞ。
Good call, Genji.
はいかしこまりました
It looked like Cannon was wondering why he had to do something so troublesome in the middle of this urgent situation. But Genji had said it out of wariness. He didn't care what happened to himself, but in the worst case scenario, he didn't want anything to happen to Cannon. In the kitchen, Kumasawa was piling food on the serving cart, and Nanjo was waiting for Genji, apparently wanting to show him a move he'd finally thought of that might turn the tables on him. But Genji's appearance immediately told him that something was wrong.
おや、どうしましたか、源氏さん。南條先生、申し訳ありませんが、この勝負は一度中断させてください。
Man, I was just about to win!
カノンはチェーンを頼む。
Cheater.
熊沢、食事の配膳は一時中断し、カノンと同行するよ
Nanjo, start cooking. What? I don't know how to cook.
う。私は奥様のところへ行くから。南條先生、ご一緒に。何かあったんですか。
Genji took Nanjo, who still didn't know what was going on, and quickly left the kitchen.
熊沢さん申し訳ありませんが僕と一緒に来てください
何があったんですか、カノンさん。
Oh, nothing really major, just, you know. Ava and not George, but Hideyoshi are in a bit of a predicament, I assume. One of a deadly one. Kumasawa said almost exactly the same thing as Nanjo, unable to take in the situation, and chased after Cannon, who had flown out into the hallway. Taking Kumasawa with him, Cannon went to the storage room and looked through the tools packed in toolboxes hanging all over the wall, trying to find something that would be used to cut the chain.
何を探してるんですか。
Something to cut this chain.
私も手伝いますよ。
ドアチェーンを切断するんです大きめの番線カッターはどこだっけ
ドアチェーンを。どうしてそんなことをするんですか。
Kumasawa, shut the fuck up. We need to do this.
エヴァ様たちの部屋にチェーンが中にいらっしゃるはずなのにお声をかけても返事がないんです
It took Kumasawa some time to figure out how cutting the chain and Eva and Hideyoshi not answering were connected. But she did realize that this was an urgent situation.
これなら多分
Cannon took down a very large wire cutter that had been hanging on the wall. It was called a cutter, but maybe it's easier to understand if we said it was shaped like a pair of pliers. Yeah. It has the handles of a plier, but it doesn't have the flat ends. It's like a kind of just a giant. Well, it looks like some fucking bolt cutters, just really small. And it doesn't have the large, head to it. Kennen remembered once being warned that this dangerous tool could easily cut through one of your fingers. If you're stupid and put your finger in the middle, if you put your finger in the way and start cutting through it, what the fuck? Who's stupid enough to do that?